extremely important in our estimation to be able to do so that we are able to offer the best kind of programming going forward. That is why I also like the conversation we had before the media came, where we talked about sharing the best practice as well. I think the conversations that we also had spoke to not only receiving financial support, but building a policy dialogue and building out a partnership, a true partnership. I must tell you, when I had heard originally that the EDF was no longer going to be, I was somewhat concerned. But seeing what has come from the European Union is now even more imaginative, and it offers the possibility of a lot more support for Barbados and for Caribbean countries. So I'm very thankful for that as well. It's also important for us to know that as part of our social protection programming beyond the amalgamation, we also want to be able to discuss disaster risk. And you would have seen in the last 2 years, certainly, that Barbados is extremely vulnerable to a lot of things. COVID has done to Barbados what it did to the majority of the world. But for a country like Barbados, where we found ourselves receiving a lot of our goods, the supply chain interruptions and so on, it was extremely costly. And that this particular minister, and I must thank the former minister, Minister Cynthia Ford, for the amazing work that she did during her time as minister to be able to help the most needy and the vulnerable in Barbados, as well as the PS and the entire team. But you would have realized that after dealing with COVID and Hurricane Elsa and Ashfall and the freak storm, it was almost as if everything that we could possibly conceive of in the last few years that hadn't happened to Barbados determined that it was going to happen in a few years, and that this ministry was called to respond, but to respond in a way that would offer us the opportunity to show that we could protect the most vulnerable amongst us. And that is why we need to have a social protection policy. That's why we need to have a program that works. That is why we have to be able to offer a response, but also to be able to think ahead and to think about considering these emerging threats and challenges. How do we respond to those threats and challenges? And it is in that context, again, that we are so thankful for the support from the European Union in our quest to be able to offer a proper social development plan going forward. You may appreciate that in the last year, the support that the Welfare Department has had to offer persons in terms of the need to be able to respond to them. We were averaging, in terms of national assistance, around 900, I think it was around 100,000 a month, about $900 to $1 million a year, and now we are averaging about 900,000 a month in support. So that you will see that our capacity to respond has been obviously under some pressure. When you move from offering 900,000 a year was what you were offering in national assistance, and now you're almost being asked to offer that a month. You can understand that the government found itself under some pressure. And therefore reinforces the point that there is a need for social protection, because the last year has put so much pressure on the system that we could build the resilience of our people, and perhaps we wouldn't need to find ourselves under so much pressure. And we're going to be using some of these funds to be able to do so, to be able to help the most vulnerable to think thoroughly about these issues. The truth is that climate change issues and issues of social protection are so intimately and intrinsically linked that we don't think about it. But the persons who are most affected by these things are always the poor, are always the most vulnerable. You know, the persons with disabilities, the elderly amongst us. So even as we go forward, these are the issues that we are going to face. And I am very thankful for the support. I'm very thankful for our long-standing friendship. And I think it is also important to know that this is not a friendship that has just started. This is a long-standing friendship. It is also one that is not deepened because of the absence of the UK, but one that is rich, and that because we share common values, it is easy to build on this friendship. And I am very happy to have you here as friends and to be able to help build out a social protection that links our shared values, but also allows us to respond to the world in a way that will elevate the entire world.